All right, listen up, project managers. If you've been thinking about getting your PMP certification, you're gonna want to hear this. The Project Management Institute just dropped a bombshell announcement about a massive overhaul to the exam. And based on what the experts are saying, it's about to get longer, harder, and a whole lot more intense. Today, we're going to break down exactly what's changing, why it matters, and most importantly, what you need to do before 2026.
So let's just cut right to the chase. The big question on everyone's mind. Is this thing about to get a whole lot harder? The short answer, oh yeah, a resounding yes. But it's not just about being more difficult. There are some huge structural shifts happening that you absolutely need to understand, and we're going to walk through all of them.
Okay, first things first. Let's get a really clear picture of what this overhaul actually looks like. And let me tell you, this isn't just some minor tweak. PMI is rolling out a completely new blueprint for what is arguably one of the most recognized professional certifications in the world. And here's where it gets real. Look at this timeline. The clock officially started ticking back in November 2024, but the real date you need to circle in red is July 2026. That is when the brand new redesigned PMP exam officially and fully launches. That means the current version of the test, the one you might be studying for right now, has a firm expiration date. So to really understand why this is such a big deal, you have to look at the exam as it is right now. Today, it's heavily weighted towards process. That's a full half of the exam. People skills are a close second, and then you see business environment. It's just this tiny little 8% sliver of the pie. Okay, you ready for the new version? Check this out. Wow, just look at that shift. Starting in July 2026, both the people and process sections get squeezed down pretty significantly. And that little business environment slice, well, it just exploded. We're talking from 8% to a massive 26%. This completely changes the game. And this chart right here really puts it into perspective. The business environment section isn't just growing, it's more than tripling. That is huge. It means you're not just going to be tested on the mechanics of running a project anymore. Now, there's going to be a much heavier focus on how that project fits into the bigger business picture. Things like organizational strategy, compliance, and delivering actual business value. And it doesn't stop there. PMI is also placing a much bigger bet on modern methodologies. Right now, it's a pretty even 50-50 split between traditional predictive approaches and agile/hybrid. But the new exam? Nope. It's shifting to 60% agile and hybrid, which, let's be honest, better reflects the reality of how most projects are run these days. Okay, I know this all sounds a little intense, but believe it or not, it's not all bad news. While the test itself is definitely getting tougher, PMI is actually making it easier for more people to qualify to take it in the first place. This is a pretty significant and, frankly, a very welcome change. So here's the deal. It used to be that your relevant project management experience had to be within the last 8 years. Well, they're bumping that up to 10 years now. And that is a game changer for anyone who might have taken a career break or shifted roles for a bit. It really opens the door for a lot of people who are just outside that window before. And check this out. They've totally revamped the eligibility tiers. The biggest news here is this brand new category for folks with an associate degree or a trade program certificate. Think plumbers, electricians, people who are constantly managing projects in the real world. This recognizes a whole new group of professionals, and it reduces their experience requirement from 5 years down to 4. All right, so we've had our dose of good news. Now let's get back to the heart of the matter, the exam itself. It is getting demonstrably more difficult, period. Let's dig into exactly why that is. Now, when you first look at these numbers, you might think, okay, 5 more questions, but 10 more minutes. What's the big deal? But here is the catch. The new questions are designed to be way more complex and scenario-based. So what you're really getting is more, harder questions with proportionally less time to answer each one. And on a test where a lot of people already run out of time, that's a big problem. But this next change, this is the one that has experts' jaws on the floor. Your breaks. You used to get 2 solid 10-minute breaks. They're cutting those in half. You will now only get 2 5-minute breaks during a grueling 4-hour exam. That is brutal. It dramatically increases the mental endurance you're going to need. You know, PMP expert and author Andrew Romdale put it perfectly. He said, 5 minutes? What are you going to do in 5 minutes? By the time you get up, you go to the bathroom, you come back. That's crazy. And he is so right. It's barely enough time to stand up and stretch, let alone clear your head before diving back into these super complex problems.
And to top it all off, the kinds of questions you'll face are evolving too. Get ready for a whole section of long, time-sucking case studies where you have to absorb a ton of information before you can even answer the questions. There will also be more graphics-based and matching questions. The whole point is to test how you apply knowledge, not just if you memorized it. And that's always, always harder.
So let's recap. The exam is getting harder, longer, and a lot more mentally taxing, even while eligibility is getting a bit easier. This brings us to the most important part of this whole conversation. What in the world should you do about it? After analyzing all these changes, after breaking it all down, what's the play? What is the smart move here? The experts who live and breathe this stuff have a very clear strategic recommendation. It's the question every single aspiring PMP should be asking right now. And here it is, plain and simple. The overwhelming advice is to get your PMP certification before the changeover in July 2026. Seriously, don't wait. Study for and take the current version of the exam, the one we all know and understand, using the massive ecosystem of proven study materials that already exist right now. Look, it all boils down to one thing: certainty versus uncertainty. Right now, the PMP exam is a known quantity. We know what's on it, we know the best ways to study, we know the mindset you need to pass. When a brand new exam launches, it takes months, sometimes longer, for study materials to catch up and get perfected. By acting now, you avoid being a guinea pig for a brand new, tougher test. So here's the bottom line. You have a window of opportunity from right now until the end of June 2026 to take on a challenge that is understood and has a clear path to success. The clock is ticking on the current exam, so the only question left is, what are you going to do about it?